Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Rogue Logic for November 4th. No. Sorry about that. Basil just tried to take my pen, which is partially what this video is about. I'd like to just start out by saying that it's a very difficult position to be in when you have a parent who has to go to a rest home or a facility that for elder care, and it's just difficult no matter what kind of relationship you had with your mom and dad, or mom or dad, or whoever the person may be. And I can say without a doubt that throughout the many years since I was born until today, I've had a difficult relationship with both my parents. But my dad passed away in 2021, the day before Thanksgiving, I believe. And yeah, that was it. And my mom is now in a facility, and she's going to be 86 this December. And I try to talk about be kind to everyone at the end of my videos as much as you can, and that's almost all the time. And that is true, and I think it's something that's vitally important, especially with everything that's going on right now, which I've already made a long video about today, which I'm going to edit and hopefully have up by the weekend. But I have some very good memories of my mom when I was a child, and she did do a lot for me, I have to say. But I also have a lot of difficult memories with my mom, because she was a difficult person with when it came to letting go, when it and with a lot of issues that she had that I wish she had dealt with. And I think it would have been beneficial for her as well as for my dad, and he had issues he should have dealt with as well, and for me. But I stopped to see her as much as I can, because I do that for me, really. And I don't mean that to sound selfish, but I can't have someone be in. Now, I would suppose if there were different types of abuse involved. I mean, I do think some people draw a line with family members. I know I have with other ones, that there is no more, and friends for that matter. This is it, I'm done, and we're done. And you need to do that sometimes, because toxic people in your life are only going to make your life hell and destroy it. So it's a fine line to walk. But I will say that I'm glad that I went, and that I go, and I make sure that she's being taken care of, because today she gave me this, which is a little skull pen that I guess she got on Halloween, and had been keeping it for me. And it really was a very emotional exchange. And it's probably the first time in a while that I saw my mom in a way that I used to see her. And no matter what has transpired between us, and some of the more difficult issues, it's beneficial for me to do as much forgiving as I'm able to do. And it was just a moment. And I think what I'm trying to tell everyone is that if you have people in your life that are toxic and that have caused you harm, and she actually did cause a lot of mental and emotional trauma to my wife, and I have trouble with that, a lot of trouble, and I can't. I have trouble with it. Let's just leave it at that. But what I will say is that when you see someone, and I almost filmed what when I visited her tonight, I almost filmed it, and I'm almost sorry that I didn't. But maybe it's best that I didn't. I'll have that memory here now, and it's one of the few good ones that I have in a while. And when you look at someone, my mom has had MS for well over 30 or maybe 40 years. They didn't even know back then how to correctly diagnose it. And the fact that she's even still, she's in a power chair, and she literally, over the year or so, the last year, has deteriorated quite a bit as far as her physical abilities. I mean, she really just she can't walk at all. She hasn't been able to for years. She has to be helped to and from the bathroom and bed and whatnot, and her arms and hands are actually so skeletal, and it's just something that you don't want this to be where your parent ends up. I mean, I can't speak for people who've had horrific things happen to them. I don't want to mention anything because it's not fair to me to do so, but there are examples, personal examples of people very dear to me, but it's not my place to talk about that here, that involved severe mental, emotional, and physical abuse. And so for that, I would say, that's a different story. But as far as the issues and problems and some really bad times, I would rather have the good times and remember those and remember what was given to me. And my mom, for all of her faults, I knew she loved me too much, more than likely, because she just didn't seem to be able to have that split off where you allow your children to go and not have them rely on you. But again, I want to focus on the positive here, and I can cook almost anything because of my mom. I know how to do canning and baking and whatnot. I mean, none of these are my profession or anything, but I can do all those things. And my house when I was growing up and into my teenage and 20s, this was the whole hub of activity. And my mom made everything and baked and did all these things. And you have to realize that your parents are human and they are flawed, and they do things that aren't correct, and you can't blame them for the rest of your life for it. Now, as I said, I'm not talking about horrific things like incestuous behavior, extreme physical abuse, mental abuse that can leave people scarred for the rest of their lives. I mean, I definitely have been helped by therapy, but there comes a point when you are responsible for your own well-being. And barring people who are severely mentally ill, who probably can't recognize that, if you need to fix those issues, then you need to go do that. You need to get therapy and or medication or whatever. If you're still going over these issues year after year after year and letting them pretty much govern your life. So what I'm trying to say is, move forward. Again, if it's extreme, get those toxic people out of your life. I've done that with quite a few people, and I have never looked back and been sorry about it. And then the other people, just limit the range. There's like the, even though it's a joke in the Fockers movies there, Meet the Parents, the circle of trust. I mean, I always try to say to everyone, just have a small circle, a little bit bigger, and those are the ways that I keep out people that are acquaintances, that are enemies, that are outside the circle completely. And, the people that I know and love and trust that are close to me, that I know have my best interest at heart. So I would love to hear your comments on a very difficult subject, but I'm glad that I had that moment today, and that's a couple moments, and this little thing right here is it's important to me now, and it means it has more significance than some very expensive things that I've purchased or whatever. So anyway, I hope that everyone has a great evening. Please like and subscribe and share and hit notifications for my new videos. And I hope you all have a great evening. Be kind to one another whenever you can, which is almost all the time. And always be kind to animals. We are their voice, and we speak for them, and we're their protectors. So peace, everybody.